This will be the first entry to Shazrin's journal, which is just me trying to journal my thoughts for throughout the day. And I don't want to write it out because to me that's boring. I'll just do it in a video form because I think I enjoy that. I will also in the journals refer to myself in the third person so that I can think as if I'm an outside observer, a third party judging myself. So that way I won't be as emotional when I'm judging myself because it's as if I'm someone else. So let's begin. Starting from midnight until about 4 a.m., Shazrin was hanging out with friends. And that was a good thing because from basically yesterday from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight, Shazrin was playing badminton with his friends. He originally didn't want to go, but he said this was for socializing, hanging out with friends. This is a good thing. So, and then he was free at the time, so he went on. Now, I think Shazrin did a good thing about that, prioritizing his friends, his good friends, and still hanging out with them, socializing with them, maintaining that bond. Because I think socialization is important. Humans are social creatures. So the fact that he did that, even though he originally didn't want to, was good for him. And even though he was actually injured from MMA from the previous day, yet it can be seen on his face some markings, and also his right arm was injured, but he still went to play badminton anyway. And I give points to Shazrin for that one. And during the hanging out from midnight to 4 a.m. with his friends, he vented out some stuff about his past relationship, his failed relationship with his ex, and he got a lot of feedback from his friends about what he could have done better, and what mostly was that it's not that he did anything wrong, but Shazrin got feedback saying that he could have done better by looking for someone who actually deserves his effort. And I think Shazrin appreciated that and is now looking for someone who is actually appreciative, grateful for someone who is loyal, who is kind, who is trying his best for someone else. And Shazrin also got to hear stories from his friends about their relationships, and he took a lot of pointers from there. And I think just from those 4 hours alone, midnight to 4 a.m., he grew quite a lot in terms of understanding relationships. I truly give points to Shazrin for that one because he really tries to grow every day, and that was a significant part of that growth that he is looking for. And I think Shazrin is truly grateful for his friends, not just for hanging out with him, socializing with him, inviting him to play badminton with them, but also just being there to just listen to his story and helping out when he doesn't know what to do, I think. And being able to learn, share stories with each other, and being able to learn from it, that's something that Shazrin is very grateful for, I'm sure. Shazrin is also grateful for the fact that he was sleeping at his friend's bed because he thought that this friend wasn't coming home that night, but he came home early in the morning, and instead of waking Shazrin up to take back his bed and sleep there, this friend actually went to the living room to sleep there to not disturb Shazrin sleeping. And yeah, Shazrin is actually grateful for that too. He's really grateful to have great friends. And throughout the day, I noticed that Shazrin he sometimes thinks about his ex, but every time he thinks about his ex, he diverts his thinking. He realizes that he's thinking about his ex and tries to think of something else. He tries to think of science, tries to watch YouTube and try to learn something new, try to understand things that he still doesn't understand. He tries to think about martial arts, what moves could he learn and implement or do to improve his MMA sparring in the future. I give props to Shazrin for that one. He is being mindful of what he's thinking. He's controlling, he's making sure that he's not thinking about things that are not bringing benefits, positivity to him. He is deliberately controlling his thinking to make sure that what he's thinking is beneficial to him. And the other thing about Shazrin is that I noticed is he is currently, today, he said to himself that he won't eat anything at all unless someone offers him food, which of course, because he doesn't want to be rude, he won't reject it. And because of that, so far, the only thing he has eaten today is only like a small slice of ice cream cake. And other than that, he has eaten nothing. And that is some serious resolve right there. I truly respect Shazrin's fasting because he is trying his best to be able to one day fast for 4 days straight. Basically 4 days with no eating at all, just drinking sugarless water. Because based on the research by Dr. Peter Attia, on intermittent fasting and such, basically once the body is fasting for more than 36 hours without any sort of food, the body will start producing ketones. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but and also the body will start destroying old cells, sick cells, any cells that are not at their optimal function, and to make sure the body is optimized to just give the current nutrients that it has in its reserves to only the best cells. And only after the fasting and then the person will eat the food, and then the food will be used to recreate the new cells to replace the cells that were killed off during the fasting. But these cells will be created fresh, new, and also it will be similar to those of the best cells that are currently surviving in his body. And so that's why Shazrin is trying his best to just fast without eating, to train himself to do it at least once a month. So he is once a month he will try to fast for 48 hours. And I respect that Shazrin is really amazing in that regard, because that is something very hard for people to do, for people to not eat when his kitchen is full of food. When he goes outside, it's full of restaurants, it's full of fast food places. He could just easily buy them just like that. And it's also maybe help from God, fate, no matter what your belief is, that when Shazrin was outside, he tried to buy a tea life drink, a smoothie, and then he also tried to buy a Subway sandwich. Both were out of stock, and because of that, Shazrin was able to continue his fast, I guess, and he is grateful for that. He was not able to eat, and he's grateful for that because it helps him with his fast. And also it also trains his discipline, and it makes him understand the feeling of real hunger, like all those people who are starving right now, and he is able to somewhat understand them instead of just sympathizing with them. And I also respect Shazrin that today he was several times he was bored, and then he decided to make himself productive by creating TikTok videos and such, because he knew that he needed to create these videos and such to build a brand of himself, so that in the future maybe he could do something with people already knowing him as someone reputable. And I think that's the end of the journal for today.